Radio, Rahim with Buddy McGirt. You know, it's the day before the big fight. You've been through this a million times. We're sitting in the lobby chilling. And so there's so much going on in boxing I want to pick your brain about. But we'll start with what's happening tomorrow night. You've got the hometown being Riyadh season favorite, and
right.
Zizo. You know, I think he's a great representative for the Saudis in new boxing kind of developing in their country and now branching out. This guy is, you know, he's an ambassador, the way he speaks
exactly right
on the dais. But this game is not a game of talking. He's a great ambassador, but it won't mean anything if on Saturday night in that ring he can't back that.
He's got to show and tell.
That's it. So what is he? He's been doing a great job of telling. What is he going to show us on Saturday night?
Well, you know, I mean, he's had a good training camp. He's done everything he's supposed to do. And, you know, we're in the learning stages. So it's not like we're at the stage where we just need fine-tuning. We need learning and fine-tuning. So we got a lot of work still to do.
Yeah. And he's early in his career, so that makes
it's only 5 fights. So, you know, like I say, he's got a lot of work to do. And, you know, he's putting it in and he's willing to do it. So that's the good part.
Where do you see the Riyadh season brand going in boxing? Like it right now seems to just be taking over everything, making these big events back to back to back. Where do you think Riyadh season ends up in the sport?
Well, you know, it's doing great. It's a great thing for boxing, but let's see what happens when there's like a little lull in the action. I mean, because every promoter, no matter how big you are, you have that lull in the action. And let's see what happens when it's not 5-6 shows a year. When it's 2 or 3 shows a year. Then you see. But that's boxing, you know what I mean? That's how boxing is. You mean, there's times when, you know, when a lot of the big promoters, they're busy every month, every other month, and sometimes there's that little lull in there. So let's see what happens with that little lull. Because a lot of the fighters, you know, they take great care of the fighters. I think it's great what they're doing in boxing. But if they took a lull, a lot of fighters are going to be like, well, I'm going to wait because I don't want to fight for less money.
Right. It changes the standard of what they expect.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good. That's true. Well, while the getting is good, let's get to it.
But now when it comes to like, they say, okay, we're going to rest for a few months. And the guys need to stay busy. So you go fight on other shows. But it's not going to be that type of money. Then you're going to see, that's what's going to separate the men from the boys when it comes to the boxing game. Guys who really want it and says, okay, I'm not fighting for $50. I got to fight for $20, but I got to stay busy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't get that today much. You don't get it much today. So let's see what happens when that happens.
Now, see, that is something that Riyadh season has influenced, but that's not really where it started, right? Like, that mentality might even go back to Mayweather. Twice a year, only big shows.
So, you know, you got you know, that's the problem today, I think. You know, everyone wants to keep the O and wait. No, man, if this is what you do it. Give the fans what they're asking for. You know what I mean? You don't see the Chicago Bulls say, or whoever the NBA champions say, you know what, now we're going to rate and we're going to play this team or we're going to play that team. You know what I mean? No, they play whoever they got to play to stay on the top. And that's what boxers need to start back doing.
Well, there's a few fights that we hope to see.
Say that word again.
A few fights
that you what?
That we hope to see.
Right, there you go. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hope. You know what I mean? It's, come on, man. You know, listen, when Duran and Leonard fought, when Hearns and Leonard fought, Ray came out of retirement and fought Marvin Hagler.
Right.
You know what I mean? They gave the fans what they wanted. That's what boxing needs more of.
We just saw Canelo pick Berlanga. No disrespect to Berlanga, but he's not David Benavidez. That's the fight we hope to see.
Say that word again.
Hope to see.
There you go.
Why do you think we haven't seen it?
That I can't answer. I can't answer that. I don't know why. I can't answer.
Do you think Berlanga poses a challenge to Canelo?
I think anybody poses a challenge to anybody. But the question is, when Berlanga was in those, when he was tested in those waters, he didn't fare too well. Canelo's a different type of water. You know what I mean? He's a whole different specimen. Canelo's a mamma jammer, man. You know what I mean? He's not your average motherfucker, man. I'm just gonna keep it real. You know, Canelo's he's the bad man, Canelo, man.
Well, the guy we're going to see on Saturday night, who's brought us all here for Crawford Madrimov. Listen, we can't just talk past Madrimov. This is a real challenge, right? This is a world title fight for a reason. But let's say he is successful on Saturday night. We all know that the Crawford-Canelo fight is what we're expecting to see next if both these guys come through.
Now, take a guy like Terence. He's willing to go up 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
He's willing to do that.
Yeah?
You know what I mean? How many guys today are willing to do that?
Is it wise, though?
Why not? Why not?
Because as you said, it's 2 weight classes. Really
listen,
3, because he's just taking a pit stop at 54.
Listen, James Toney, middleweight champion. Super middleweight champion. Skipped the light heavyweight, cruiserweight champion, then heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
No hydration clause, no catch weight. He said, fuck it, let's do it. That's what champions do, man. Roy Jones, middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and boom, he went straight to heavyweight. Fought John Ruiz, no catch weight, no hydration clause. That's what champions do, man.
Now, Canelo, as you said, is a different kind of water. So we got a real champion in Crawford willing to make that climb to 68, but now he's in different kind of waters with a guy like Canelo.
But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Crawford doesn't have to come in at 68. Bigger's not always better. Crawford can come in at 62. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bigger's not always better because Roberto Duran, lightweight champion. Welterweight champion, right?
Yeah.
Junior middleweight champion. Middleweight champion. He fought Marvin Hagler 15 rounds. He started at 135.
Yeah.
That's what great fighters do, man.
Okay, so
you take that risk.
What are we gonna see?
I'm hoping Canelo says, "All right, fuck it, let's go." That's what I'm hoping.
And then what do we see? Who wins it?
Listen, I love them both.
Yeah.
But Crawford's my man.
Yeah.
I gotta stick with Crawford. he's a different type of animal. Canelo's a different type of water. Crawford's a different type of animal.
All right. Let's talk about some of the heavyweights that are on the card Saturday because there's some rivalries brewing. Ruiz and Miller, I wouldn't say they're enemies, but there is a rivalry there. One of these guys
I think that's gonna be the fight of the night.
Right. I need to know who wins these fights.
The heavyweight. You know what? I'm not going to pick a winner in none of the heavyweight fights because they both are pick'ems.
Okay, but here's the thing. Miller is a heavyweight, but he's not as heavier a weight as he was in his last fight. He's lost a lot of these pounds.
Right.
Does that advantage him?
Yes, definitely. Listen, man, bigger is not always better. Some guys figure, I'm big, I'm going to put on more weight and be better. No, that doesn't work for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It might work when you fight this guy, but it might not work when you fight that guy. So just come in what you at, lose some weight, when you're able to move, will have more mobility. Listen, this is the thing. This is how I see it, and it's just basic math. Just say a guy is fighting at 160, right?
Yeah.
He comes in at 160. Then he's weighing 170 pounds. Fight night, right?
Yeah.
But your body's trained to carry this 160. So now if you had 15 round fights, after round 10, separate the men from the boys.
2 years layoff for Ruiz. Is that hurting him or is the healing and focus helping him?
Only one person can answer, and that's him. We don't know what he was doing in those 2 years off. Do I think he was sitting home doing nothing? No. I know it, being a fighter and a former champion, I know he was in the gym. Might not have been working as hard as he should have, but he was in the gym keeping his tools sharp. And he's still young. So when you're young and you stand in the gym, it doesn't matter if you're off 2 or 3. To me, it doesn't matter if you're off 2 or 3 years.
Anderson, Bacoli.
I've never seen neither one of the guys fight.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit back and watch it.
Okay, so that's an interesting thing because you've never seen them fight, yet whenever they're mentioned, at least certainly in this promotion, Anderson is the next heavyweight champion. He's the guy that's about to come into the division and shake it up. So is it too soon for that talk, or are we just...
I can answer, if you ask me that tomorrow night after the fight, win, lose, or draw, I can tell you.
Right.
But I've never seen him fight, so I can't really answer that question.
Well, the undisputed, or at least, once undisputed, now doesn't have the IBF, but still undefeated, Usyk is going to be seeing Tyson Fury cross the ring one more time in December. How does that rematch play out?
I got to go with Usyk.
Again, does anything change in the fight?
I think it's going to be the same type of fight.
You think Fury makes adjustments? Is he can't or won't?
I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he won't. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? It might not make sense, and then again, you got to really think about it. I'm not saying he can't make adjustments. I'm not saying he won't make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is sometimes the mind says, yeah, but the body says, not today.
The outlier right now in the heavyweight division is that IBF title because Usyk was stripped, and now Joshua and Dubois are fighting for it, and Dubois comes in as the champion.
Dubois the champ?
Yeah, he has the IBF title.
How'd that happen?
It turned out to be an eliminator with him and. Why are you shaking your head? Listen, they stripped Usyk. He didn't fight the mandatory, right? So that became vacant. They fought for it. Dubois won it.
Hold it. When Dubois fought Miller, who did he fight?
He fought Hrgovic while that...
Okay, when I was the Hrgovic fight,
yeah,
an eliminator or for the vacant title?
It was an eliminator.
Okay, so if it's an eliminator, how the hell is he champion?
Because they kind of turned it into a vacant title after the fight.
Come on now.
But
come on now. That don't make no sense, man.
Yes and no. Because Hrgovic was the guy who kept getting denied. He was the mandatory.
I don't care how much you're being denied. If you're not champion and you both are fighting an eliminator, you win. They strip the other guy. Now you the champ. Come on, man. Is that fair to the other guys out there?
Well, the other guy out there is Joshua, so that's the next fight up, right? This is happening.
So now Dubois is going into the fight as the champion.
Yes. It's not Dubois' fault. That's all.
No, it's not his fault. I'm not blaming him.
But it should. The thing is, it should have been a title fight when they had it. I think
it should be a title fight now. It should be a vacant title fight with him and Joshua. That's what it should be. When you think about it, which makes sense. Okay, you won the eliminator. This guy's stripped. Joshua's next in line. You guys fight for the vacant title.
Okay, fair enough. I got no argument with that line of reasoning. It's not the case, but that is
right. Listen, it's not Dubois' fault.
Right.
I'm not mad at him. He's champ now. But it makes the fight more interesting if they're fighting for the vacant title. It makes the fight more interesting. To me, like I said, I could be wrong. But if you're fighting for the vacant title, it makes it more interesting. You know what I mean?
Do you think Dubois makes the fight interesting? What would have to be considered an upset if he beats Joshua? But it's certainly not impossible. How do you think the fight would go?
It's going to be interesting. I think that his confidence level is on a different. His confidence is at a different level after beating Israil and Hrgovic.
Yeah.
So he's come off 2 good wins. So his confidence level might be at a different point. So remains to be seen now.
And he feels like a champion.
So
he should feel like a champion.
It could make for a great fight.
You think?
I don't think it's going the distance though. Somebody's getting knocked out.
And what do you think? How is Joshua coming into the fight mentally, physically? Where is he at?
I think it's another opportunity for him. I think Joshua's going to be on the high. I personally believe that Joshua has a lot more to offer than what he's showing. I think he's better than what he's showing. I don't think they scratched the surface yet with his talent.
We've seen a guy around here this week who is looking for a promoter who has been taking some criticism in his last time out and the time before that, and Shakur Stevenson. The Tank Davis fight is the one that we hope to see. First off, do you think the criticism is fair that he's not been exciting and all that stuff?
I'm a believer in this. You can't satisfy everybody. But it's hard sometimes when you're fighting a guy who's not going to put up a challenge. It's hard. You know, you want to do something, but the guy's like in a defense. I didn't see the fight, so I don't know. Or either the guy was in survival mode, or he seen that he couldn't hit Shakur, was getting counted. There's nothing he can do. So if the guy's not putting up a fight, there's nothing you can do sometimes. It happens. It's boxing. But I think personally right now the fight should be Shakur and Tank. Not Lomachenko, not Garcia. Tank, Shakur Stevenson is the fight that I think should be made right now.
Who wins that fight if it's made right now?
I got to sit back and just watch it. I know them both.
See, the thing is, I know you know.
No, see, I know them both. You know what I mean? I know them both. So I'm just going to sit in the middle, give me a seat right in the middle, and wish both men the best, and just sit back and enjoy the fight.
You know what? Let's do that tomorrow night. You got to work. I got to work. But for most of the night, we're going to sit back and enjoy the fight.
All right.
Radio Rahim. One more thing. When they bestow Trainer of the Year on people, then that always becomes a topic of conversation. But I like to get the trainer's opinion on Trainers of the Year throughout the year. You know, buddy, you're a Hall of Famer. You're a guy who's seen it all, done it all. With all this Riyadh season activity, we've seen a lot of great fights. Who's the best trainer? I'm excusing you from the lineup. Who's the best trainer you think emerging from all these big fights?
No comment. No comment.
See, it's funny. That's the most common comment I get.
No comment.
You guys are cagey.
That's why we're trainers, man. We know how to use this.
Radio Rahim with Buddy McGirt. Potentially Trainer of the Year, but no comment. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Have a good one,
Yes,
baby.
sir.
Thank you.